Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Coffee with Kelsey. Whether you're a returning listener or joining me for the very first time, I'm so thrilled to have you here. My name is Kelsey Kizina. I'm a professional ballroom finalist, 7-time award-winning dance sport coach, and someone who's passionate about helping dancers develop not only their technique, but their confidence, focus, and resilience, both on and off the dance floor. Today's episode is a big one. We're talking about something that every dancer, every parent, and honestly, every professional in this sport and art form wrestles with: perfectionism. We're going to talk about what perfectionism really looks like, how it hides behind discipline, and how it can control you, and how to let go of it without losing your drive. I'm also going to share a personal story about my own struggle with perfectionism, because I've been there, and I know how heavy it can feel when not good enough becomes your inner soundtrack. So grab your coffee, find a quiet spot, and let's dive in. Coffee with Kelsey is brought to you by ballroomdancecoach.com, 7-time award-winning instruction, helping dancers of all levels maximize their progress and express themselves on the dance floor. Here's the truth. Perfectionism, it isn't the same thing as striving for excellence. Excellence is focused. It's intentional. It's about showing up every day, refining your craft, and learning from your mistakes. Perfectionism, that's fear wearing a mask. It's fear of judgment, fear of failure, fear of not being worthy unless you get everything exactly right. I see it in my students all the time. The dancer who won't enter a competition because they're not ready. The parent who's afraid to let their child lose. The dancer who holds back in every round because they're terrified of being seen as trying hard and still not winning. Perfectionism convinces you that your worth depends on flawless performance. And that's just not true. It's not how champions are built. I want to share something personal with you. There was a time in my professional career when perfectionism ran the show. I remember I was preparing for a major competition. It was one that felt like it could make or break my career at that time. I was training long hours, obsessing over every detail, every angle, every extension, every foot placement. But the harder I tried to be perfect, the worse I danced. I was tense. I was exhausted. And honestly, I wasn't even enjoying my dancing anymore. I remember finishing a run through and thinking, I don't even recognize myself. One day after practice, my coach pulled me aside and said, Kelsey, you're not dancing anymore. You're performing for approval. You have to stop. Stop trying to be perfect. That moment stuck with me because it wasn't about lowering my standards. It was about shifting my focus. Excellence meant learning, adapting, refining. Perfection meant punishing myself for anything less than flawless. When I finally let that go, when I started to focus on progress, my dancing completely changed. My results changed. And honestly, my entire mindset changed. Here's what perfectionism does to dancers. It kills creativity, blocks growth, and it destroys confidence. When you're focused on never making mistakes, you stop taking risks. And in dance sport, the real, beautiful, authentic, alive version, it's built on risk, on artistry, on emotion. The dancers who grow the fastest aren't the ones who never fall. They're the ones who learn how to fall better. The parents who build confident athletes aren't the ones who protect them from everything, every stumble. They're the ones who help them see each mistake as part of the process. If you've ever watched a dancer freeze in competition or panic when they're on the on-deck area before they walk out onto the floor, that's not lack of preparation. That's perfectionism in disguise. So let's reframe this. What does excellence look like? It's the dancer who walks off the floor knowing they gave everything they had, win or lose. It's the parent who celebrates effort just as much as results. It's the coach who teaches process over perfection. Excellence is when you're coachable, when you show up to your lessons ready to work, when you accept feedback without taking it personally, and when you treat mistakes as data and not judgment. When you commit to excellence, you stop measuring yourself by your last result, and you start measuring yourself by how much stronger, smarter, and more focused you've become. So how do you actually let go of perfectionism? So the first step is to notice it. When you feel that tightening in your chest, that voice that says, if it's not flawless, it's not worth doing, just pause. Ask yourself, am I trying to grow right now, or am I trying to impress someone? The second step is practice falling forward. In practice, give yourself permission to take yourself to your limits, push yourself farther, because that's the only way that you can learn where your limits are. Step 3, and this is a big one, even for me especially, and I know a lot of you will identify with this. Separate your identity from your performance. You are not your placement. You are not your last marks. You are not your mistakes. You are the work you're putting in today. And step 4, work privately with someone who gets it. That's why private coaching exists. It's not about perfection. It's about precision. It's where you can target exactly what's holding you back, physically and mentally, and turn that into strength. Parents, this one's for you. Your dancer doesn't need you to be their fixer. They need you to be their believer. Perfectionism sometimes can start at home, not because of pressure, but because kids are wired to want to make their parents proud. When you focus on the process, on discipline, consistency, growth, you teach them resilience. Every great athlete has a team behind them who believes in progress over perfection. Even now, as a professional, as a coach, perfectionism, it still pops its ugly head up. It's there when I'm designing choreography and I want that to fit that couple or that dancer absolutely perfectly. It's there when I'm coaching and I'm worrying if what I've said was the right thing, the perfect thing for that person. It's even here right now as I'm recording this episode, hoping that every word lands in the right way. But I remind myself, my job isn't to be perfect. My job is to show up with purpose, to be real, to model what it looks like to keep improving. And that's what I want for every dancer listening today, to know that excellence doesn't mean being flawless. It means being fearless enough to grow. If you take one thing away from today's episode, let it be this. Stop chasing perfect. Start chasing progress. Let excellence be your standard and growth be your reward. If this episode hit home for you, whether you're a dancer or a parent, and you're ready to start breaking through perfectionism to build real, sustainable progress, I'd love to help you. Private coaching is available for dancers of all ages. Whether you're a young competitor just starting out, a parent learning how to support your dancer, or an advanced athlete who wants to reach that next level. For more information and to book your appointments, visit ballroomdancecoach.com or tap the link in the show notes. Because excellence isn't about never falling. It's about learning how to rise stronger every time you do. This season, we're diving deeper than ever into the raw, real stories of life in the arts, triumphs, struggles, and everything in between. So make sure you're subscribed, grab your coffee, and join me next week for another episode. Until next time, stay focused, stay kind to yourself, and keep dancing forward.